All right, so I want to do, this might be my last mock draft, but I still have one more I think I might try to pull off, but we'll see. This one, I want to focus in on that second round pick. I think that's where, this will say this is the continuation. This is a 2.0 version of the sweet spot draft I did a while ago, where I pointed out kind of like that 20 to 60 range, which is where you can get not only a good valuation, but maybe as the Patriots at 38 might get a very good undervalued pick. So let's see what we can get. Now, I don't want to say we've exhausted what all the scenarios and potential picks or what the Patriots might do with the fourth overall. We've kind of gone through it way too much, and fill in the blank of we wait for who comes out of the top three and then either stick at 4 and do this or trade back. Like, we've done it. And the thing is that first round, that chunk of basically from 4 or 5 all the way to the late teens, there's very little difference in those guys. They're composite scores. So if it could be just about anybody in terms of value, it just kind of actually probably goes more on to the strategy and how the board's going to develop and the depth at each position. I still think Will Campbell's the more logical pick if you can't get Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter for a variety of reasons, not just because I think the guy is a good player, and I guess everybody could be wrong and he's bad. I don't know. And what I mean by that, I mean professionals that have been doing this for a long time and most draft evaluators. But we're not here to focus on one. We're actually kind of talking about how the second round pick could actually be, I don't want to say make or break, but probably could be the more intriguing or basically could save the draft. Or I don't know what to say. It could make it a home run, right? I don't want to say it's going to make it bad, but it could really make the draft really valuable, because I think there's a possibility we see several quarterbacks still go in the first round. I still think there's 4 or 5 tackles that can go in the first. I think there's 3 or 4 wide receivers that go in the first. Now, this is an edge class where there's probably 6, 7 edge guys that could get first round grades. D tackles around the same, maybe a little less in there. Now, running backs, there's probably 2 or 3 running backs that can be first round grades. You see where I'm going here? There's going to probably be at least 3, 4, maybe more players that kind of leak out of the first. Like last year, there was DeJean and McConkey that fell out. I mean, the Patriots passed on both of those guys, but those are guys that probably were better picks that were sitting right there. That could happen again this year. So let's take a look and see what happens. Let's get to the draft here. Now, the 4th overall pick, I'm just gonna say Carter's gone. I'm just gonna keep going with Campbell. I know you're gonna hate that. Whatever, we can hash that out at a later date when it's all done, but let's see what we can get here. Now, I think Simmons might drop out of the first because of the knee, but we'll see. Now, if this happens, what happens if you do get a shot at a Luther Burden, a Tyler Booker, a Donovan Jackson, a Nick Scorton, or Travion Henderson? Now, out of the ones that I don't think Booker's going to fall out. I think Josh Simmons might. Now, Josh Simmons, keep in mind, played a couple seasons at left tackle, but he's also played a couple seasons at right tackle. And considering he might be redshirting year, that might not be a bad decision to maybe go with him at right tackle. It might be a little bit, but in this case, it's pretty hard to pass up Tyler Booker. Let's take a look at running back. Travion Henderson's not bad at 38. Junkins might be there at 69. I doubt it, though. Sampson I can pick up at 77 or maybe not 106. Jadon Blue, I wouldn't mind at 144. Same thing with Gordon or Tootin. 144 could be the next. 106 or 144 might be the sweet spot for running backs if we miss on one of these two. But for me right now, it's really hard to pass on 1, 2, 3, or 4 right now. Booker being an amazing left guard, and Donovan Jackson playing some guard and tackle. And then Burden being a solid wide receiver. Now let's take a look at wide receivers to see how that board's going. See if I can get Jalen Knoll, not Noel, Knoll at 69. I could do Betch too. Kyle Williams, I wouldn't mind at 106. I'm not that sold on him. I also, if I can get Isaiah Bond at 106 or Horton at 106. Knoll at 38 might be a little much for me though, especially when you can actually just finally get that left guard. Yeah, I'm going to go with Booker. Burden's pretty hard to pass up though too. Shit. And here's the thing. I'm not a massive Luther Burden fan. I wouldn't draft him with the idea that it's kind of hard. So let's talk about this. Two things that kind of came out last year about certain position groups. One, offensive line. You heard the GM, and he basically essentially admit that what happened last year was his fault. So we have to assume the offensive line's going to somehow be fixed here, right? And then the other thing would be, hey, the wide receiver room was a little immature. I don't know if you can basically get out of the first 2 days without having your offensive line shirt up, but then also go pick a wide receiver that potentially has the similar issues you were seeing with arms coming up and bad body language, giving up on plays. Not, obviously it was very you could just watch him. Like Nick Imawari was watching Luther Burden to see if it was going to be a run or a pass play, or if it was coming Luther Burden's way. And you could see, he would just watch him and then he'd go off it. He was using it like basically as a tell. That was the primary read, which was, hey, look, what's Burden doing? So that hurt. But ball in his hands, he's the best in the draft with the ball in his hands, basically. Well, maybe for a guy who can possibly play some X and some solid Z for you. But I'm going to do that. And now that would leave me to go maybe Femi or Junkins here. Yeah, nope. Jack Sawyer here. Or Jordan Birch. Ooh. Yeah, let's take a look at edge. I might be kind of pressed on edge here. Gelati's not a bad move. Jack Sawyer at 50. Not the best pass rusher, but I don't hate the idea. Yeah, kind of hard to walk away from Sawyer or Birch. I think Sawyer fits the our culture rebuild here. Yeah, Samson or Ozzie or Kyle Williams. Jacob Parrish is hard to pass up. The fact that I'm looking at Cameron Williams right now is also insane. Or Terrence Ferguson. Or Ty Robinson. Let's take a look more at running backs here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go at 144. There's just too much of a grouping here at 144 that I have no problem taking. Like, honestly, Jordan James, compared to a lot of these other guys, should actually be rated higher on the stats side and some of his metrics. I have no problem. I mean, I know he's not, like, perfect for them. But 144 seems to be... This is still solid here. Jacob Parrish is a good corner. Kyle Williams I would be alright with. Yeah. It's just hard for me to do that. You gotta get it. You gotta do it. Alright, let's see what we have here. Ooh, Peebles is still there. Tootin. I don't think we can push on the 177. Let's take a look at running backs exclusively. Still haven't really moved too much on them. I really don't think we make it that far, though. Yeah, I mean, like, here's the thing. Like, I'm still looking down here. You got Donovan Edwards, Lan Larson as receiving back. Yarns is still down here. You got some decent dudes. I mean, I might have to push. I might have to. Let's take a look at D tackles here. Peebles might be, him and Vernon might be really hard to pass on here. Aeneas has metrics that say he should be at basically, yeah, 119, we're at 144. I think that's hard to pass up. Especially if you need him to be Milton Williams insurance on can Milton play all 3 downs. And I would still be looking for Thor Griffith later on as well. All right, running backs. Brashard Smith. Yeah, Ollie. I hope Ollie gets his twitch back. It's kind of hard. He might have gone through too many inflammatory cycles and just needs to sit out for really just a year of getting healthy again. And not that he's been injured. I mean, he has been, but I mean, not that I could say he's dealing with an injury right now. I don't know. But it's just the twitches. It just doesn't seem like it's there. I don't hate the idea of if they wanted to grab him here, but I'm really liking Brashard Smith. I'm a little bit off on ETN with the off-field stuff. When you can still get pretty solid guys with Brashard Smith right here. So I'm going to go with this one. It seems right. Now, tight ends, we're going to be a little SOL, I think. Unless Mitchell Evans, I was going to say, for some reason he makes it. Bryson Nesbitt as a UDFA would be fine with me. You don't have to get a tight end this year. Cole Taylor probably is better than, I mean, LSU guy that then transferred to West Virginia where they just didn't use him in the right way. He had an okay year last year. Carter Runyon is incredibly under the radar as receiving I think he's 6'6", but he's just like an oversized receiver. I wouldn't mind him. Anybody else down here? G. Scott's a fullback. Malik the Freak Carr. Redmond's actually not bad too. I don't know about Juan Davis. But Nesbitt would probably be my UDFA guy. And then Benjamin Urosek. And actually Bringenstool is pretty good too. And there's Oots for fullback. So like, yeah, I'm okay. And Dupree. Dipper. I guess. No. Offensive tackles. Anybody in here that we should talk about that could be good? Esapole is pretty good too. Right, Xavier Truss, Rhode Island kid. Miles Hilton's a good right tackle. He didn't have a great career at Michigan, but former 5-star. John Williams, good left tackle with some guard flex. Brandon Crenshaw was actually Josh Simons' yeah, they played together. So I was expecting him to have I mean, he's been up and down. His Shrine Bowl tape is not good. Jalen Travis would be solid here if we wanted to pick up a big right tackle. Anybody else in this? Trevor Penning's brother. Ben Hart's not bad. Caleb Etienne, really under the radar. Checks a lot of boxes. Miller's solid too. Ruben Faderly got injured. Really never came back, but at one point was considered a first-round talent. Marcus Bryant, decent athlete, obviously played the left tackle at Mizzou, opposite of Membu. Kilty's good. Josh Fryer, solid right tackle, graded out pretty well. I don't know why he's at 605. Yeah, there's some dude. I'd take him Josh Fryer, right as a UDFA if you want to get a right tackle. There you go. That's a dude. Interior offensive line. Anybody else sitting around? Clay Webb. Newman's good. Marcus Ware's solid. Eli Cox is a good center. He played as a good left tackle. I could see him being good on the inside as well. Thomas Perry. Obviously, I've gone over him before. Is Kendall still on the board? No. Moss is a good center. Nick Nash, he's solid too. So there's some guard potential in here. Gareth Warren, Aiden Williams. Simpkins was a good, I remember, yeah, I forgot he transferred. Good center potential. Obviously, Monheim can play center. So I'm not being pushed there. What do we have left? Tight end. So hold off on tight end. Linebackers. Ooh, Cody Simon. Now, Cody Simon's interesting. Good special teams guy. Really great special teams guy, actually. But one of your best run-stopping linebackers in college football this past year. Woodard's underrated. Powell's a big dude. He's like 6'5". Chandler Martin actually is a good pass rusher at the linebacker position. Jalen McLeod. I don't know why he's down this far. Had a great year, and he's actually had a decent track record as a pass rusher. Like, honestly, what's interesting is when I watch him play, it's not as ferocious, but he kind of does remind me of Jalen Walker. I have to check out his testing, but that's like how I see how he plays. I would definitely consider him. Ooh, yeah, Tamari. I can never. Tamarian. Linebacker / safety. Freak. Hippolyte. They brought him in. Bach is a solid interior linebacker. Guess there's 2 Hippolytes in here. Yeah. Anybody else in here that's worth mentioning? Matt Jones, the bottom. Now, let me say this. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually bring Matt Jones in as UDFA. This guy, when I did the math and did all the metrics, like, he's a top 200. That guy's like a top 200 line pick in this draft if you go on metrics. He's a little bit older. Maybe that's the reason why he's at 683. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if this guy comes in and actually is. I mean, I wouldn't think he's going to get drafted, but he'd be your UDFA linebacker this year. And same thing with Jacob Dobbs. I just did a video on him. So linebacker, I'm holding off on. I don't see anybody I have to move on right here, except maybe if you really love Cody Simon. Any guy can play too. Safeties. He's I like this guy. 281. That's a good spot for him. Malik Verdon, another great safety that's probably not going to be drafted, sadly. Jack Henderson can play a little bit like linebacker, safety, good nickel guy. Very disruptive. Lots of sacks this past. Deshaun Pace, Ivan Pace's brother, plays some linebacker, plays some safety. He's an interesting safety pickup. Kenyatta Watson didn't have a great year after transferring from Georgia Tech, but a freak athlete. Probably just needs some, a place to prove they can play in the NFL. Anybody else? Safety. Jack Howell, he's a solid linebacker. If you draft Travis Hunter, you can't get him though. He's the guy who gave. I'm pretty sure. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I'm pretty sure he's the guy who gave Travis Hunter that lacerated liver or whatever it was. Yam Banks. I'm not sure if he's actually in the draft, but he was one of your top transfer portal guys last year. He'd be a good guy to call up and see if you can bring him in. So there's some safeties in here that are actually worth possibly going up UDFA if you can get them. So point being, this is where we can just maybe sit back and find a high-end guy. Now, Barron might be too good to pass up. Okay, so what can we do next? Another running back. Clay Webb, that's a smart one. Eurosec is not bad. Yarns, Tim Smith. Can also pick up Curtis Rourke. I mean, we did have his brother on the team a couple years ago. Keep that in mind. Oliver. Oh, Keandre Lambert-Smith. There's your his big Z guy. Yeah, there we go. Efton Chisholm. Yeah, we could go with him. Sigel. Yeah. What to do? I'm going to go with... Take a chance. I mean, Nick Nash I'm all good with too. I wouldn't hate him. Armstrong, underrated dude. I think he led the SEC in reception or yards, touchdowns. Maybe both. But I think Lambert Smith tracks perfect for the Patriots. I wasn't thinking about getting 2 wide receivers, but you got a Z guy, speedster, Noel being your slot guy that can do your vertical slot. Yeah, it's just get some guys out of there. All right, so of course we're going much longer than I expected. These next few ones I'll try to do quick, just to change up the second. Oh yeah, we'll probably just restart it after 106. We'll say, all right. No way. Oh, I was gonna say there's no way they're getting out. Hampton might make it out. No. James Pierce. That's tough. You know, like what's interesting is going into the year, James Pierce was my top guy on my draft board overall. Now, not who I want the Patriots to actually pick, but James Pierce I thought was going to be near the top. But I guess the off-field stuff is... He didn't have a great year at Tennessee, but his profile, his highlight tape definitely tells you he's a first-rounder. Late first-rounder probably is the reason why people are thinking that is because of the off-field stuff. I don't know. I think I'd go Scorton here. So let's do that. And then we can talk about maybe running back next or a wide receiver. Let's see what's going on. I guess we can do Noel again. Or maybe we can push off to 77 if there's something really... Yeah, like Junkins. Let's just do this one, all right? And go there. And then try interior offensive lineman for the next one, which... At 106, I'd probably go after Slater. I mean, Charles Grant, not really a guard, but maybe... maybe we go Drew Kendall at 144, and then we have a guard / some center. That's a smart move. Leaving us what here? Ozzie? Jacob Parrish again. Ooh, or Cameron Williams. Or Terrence Ferguson's not a bad idea. I think I'd still go this. I know it's not like... I'm just going on what I think is probably the best move. I mean, I can not like Noel Williams. The corners in the middle, or there's a decent amount of them, but it's not a lot of ones I would want to... I don't want to say have to take... Yeah, because he'd start running out of them. So I would take Jacob Parrish if he could still get him at 106. I was going into that thinking he wasn't going to be there. So running back. Bashul. Okay. Anybody else later on they're still hitting? Okay. Gone. Oh, no. Kendall's gone. Oh, he's right here. Yeah, I'm taking Kendall. All right, tight end maybe this time. Maybe we can possibly go with Gadsden here. That way we're getting a big tight end or receiving tight end / wide receiver. Go look up his route chart, guys. Like the guy runs wide receiver routes. So D tackle would be in play here. See what we got. Zeke Biggers, I'd like later on. So pushing down, I just maybe go to... This is a good grouping right here for, like, no, not Aiden, but... Yeah, Stackhouse undervalued. Stackhouse at 238 sub steel. Tyler Batty, that's not a bad pick there because he can play edge setter. Q Robinson would be your burner there. Actually, let's take a look at linebacker and see if I can find... You know what? Cody Simon can get to the linebacker. Sean Dolak. A guy that I don't know if I'll get around to his analysis and I'll feel terrible about it. A guy that I, again, campaigned for... I campaigned a lot, pretty heavy with Jim Nagy to get him the Senior Bowl, and I guess he just never, because he wasn't supposed to be athletic enough, and they turned out the guy tested out probably one of the top linebackers testing. So I'm not blaming Jim Nagy for it. He doesn't really look blazing fast on tape, but linebackers, that's the problem. Like sometimes linebackers are not always like being told, yeah, just go out there and just fly around and make plays. It's like, no, not all defenses are set up to be like that. Like Cody Simon kind of has that, like, yeah, go out there and just run amok sometimes. And then there's not sometimes where he's a little more calculated. Nick Martin's a good one. Man, Cody Simon's hard to pass up in my opinion. But there's these other guys here that, like Teddy, that's a freak athlete. Anybody else in here? Jalen McLeod. Is Lindenberg's gone. Yep. Yeah, I'm kind of looking. I'm trying to think that maybe Batty might be a better pick here. I also really like Clay Webb, obviously. Shit. Safeties. Mac McWilliams, Maxon Hook's solid. Yeah, not really feeling like I have to. Cornelius is better than I'm giving him credit for. He's pretty solid. Jordan Williams he's played a lot of right tackle at Georgia Tech with some decent tape. Cooper's solid too. Where's the value? Who's the best player here? That's hard to say. I'm pretty partial to getting Tyler Batty. Guy can play edge, he can play some little bit of linebacker, not much. I wouldn't obviously expect him to do that at the next level, but he can play some special teams, and then obviously he can play some D tackle as well. And that would give you a chance to maybe get Thor later on. Maybe what? We get... I can't believe some of these guys are still available. Ahmed, you got to look at him. He's a decent athlete. He's not ultra twitched up, but he's got some functional strength through the roof. He can definitely battle. Oh, Cam Horsley as D tackle. Huh. Interesting. Keandre Lambert-Smith. I'll hold off on him this time. guess we can go like receiving back, go like Marcus Jans or something like that. Just at this point, it's whatever. I didn't even do what I said I was going to do, which was just kind of stick it to the first 2 days. And so far, I'd say I'm like the 38 pick, which is obviously what I'm trying to focus on, but I'm failing at it. The ones I picked so far, I think, are possible. So, well, never mind. Tyler Booker. I shouldn't have gotten Tyler Booker. Let's say the first one should have been Donovan Jackson. That one might be there. Say, like, let's ignore. I don't think Tyler Booker makes it. I really don't. So, say he's gone. Yeah, maybe. I mean, Schweisinger is pretty hard to pass up, too, to be honest with you. But let's say we go Luther Burden. See what we got for running back at 69. Is there anybody at 69 that's too hard to pass up? Darius Alexander. Oh, that would be one of them. Damn. And I would like Jonah too. Shoot. Yep, I'm going Darius. See, that would be one of the situations where, hey, oh, and then we'll do that. Thank you. Okay, so we're good. Edge, we're going to be a little bit rough on, but we'll have to figure it out. So we can go value on this one. Jared Ivey, not the greatest athlete. So I'm going to go to these two here. I might even go back to back if I can get them at 144, 171. Tyler, yeah, there's some guys later on. You're gonna miss out, but you're gonna. I mean, both these guys have production. David Walker being a freak, I like him too, but not exactly sold on him for the Patriots. What we could do is see what we have for D-line. Anybody else that can help us out there? Not really. I mean, Ty Robinson could give you some pass rush too. Yeah, so say we do... It's kind of hard to pass up Ty Robinson here. But say we do Samson. Ty Robinson's going to go, okay. Okay. Oh, yeah, we're getting pushed hard. He's pretty good. I'm going to have to hold off until... I mean, Fadil Diggs and Q Rom, it's going to get pretty ugly later on. So this one's not working out, but not going to panic. Yeah, I might do this one again. Nope. Yep. If I have anything to say about Antoine is that he's kind of like, I guess this in case would be day 3, but he reminds me a lot of Donovan Izaraku and how he plays. Yeah, I think we might go Q here just to get, or Cody Simon again. I think Q might be our better freakish athlete with upside here. Or, you know what? McLeod is still probably out there, isn't he? Nope, he seems to be gone. I'll keep going with Tyler again. You know what? I might have to go with Dale Diggs or Tyler Barron. He's pretty good too. And this actually, Dawkins is solid too. I'm underselling R.J. Oben, Colin Oliver, Johnny Walker, Elijah Ponder's still here. Carlton's actually put up a decent amount. Strigo's interesting. Pius didn't have a great year. He came from William & Mary. Transfer, didn't get used correctly. Even this Terrell Dawkins, which I have him more of as a D tackle, but maybe I'm wrong with the snap count. Ugwu, whatever it may be. He's solid for Miami. Is anybody else in here? Do they have... They don't have Jukog in here, do they? But like I would take Elijah Ponder UDFA as like a speed dynamic edge rusher. He might get drafted though. I think they might have that off. So let's see if there's anything else. Keaton Crawford is a good safety. Yeah. Let's take a look at safety. It might be Sebastian Castro I like, but Crawford's interesting. And same thing with Sigel. All right, I'm not going on safety anymore. And now that reminds me, we shouldn't be talking about this. We're supposed to be focusing on day 2. So that one I would say was good and failure at the same time. Not getting the edge guy does put a little bit of pressure. In that case, maybe not in real life, but Harmon, Landon Jackson, JTT at 69 is a good one to pick up too. I doubt they'll make it though, because look, I mean, all the edge is gone. Now I'm good personally. I'm good with Landon Jackson, so I'll do that one. Not good with what's being shown to me here at 69. So I'm going to go with Bond at 77 if that's possible. Junkins here, definitely. Savion was it's a little too high. What? I don't know what's going on with Isaiah Bond. See, there's something. Did I miss something on him? I guess we can go Kyle Williams. He could fit there. Trey Harris has got some potential still too, even though he gets injured all the time. Elick Manor. There's times where I like it, like this would be a spot to get him, but it's the question of, you know what? Maybe I can talk myself out of wide receiver completely here. Is there a better option? Period. Makuba. Joshua Farmer. Makuba at 77 is right where I'd probably want to target him too. Okay. See, this is where I'd want to get Kyle Williams. Jacob Parrish, we'd have to just concede not getting him. Stutzman, that's a good one to grab. But one last one, right? So maybe this one. And then get Judkins here. See, that would be an obvious one. Now, let's see what else we have. JTT or Darius Alexander. Oh, I have to go edge here. Still could have got Jonah at 77. I think that's absurd, but yeah, let's check out safeties and corners. Makuba's played slot. Yeah. Either one would be great. Let's just go with Makuba, because we haven't done it yet. So, like, that would actually be good. I mean, people who want wide receivers would be freaking out, but, I mean, getting Jalen Royals at 100, and never mind. I would just do that. And then eat it. Oh, man. I feel bad I'm probably not going to get to a Jacob Parrish valuation here. Let's take a look at running back. Giddens or Blue? Giddens is freakish. I'm going to go with him. I really like him, actually. Jaden Blue still on the board. I wouldn't hate them if they went to Jaden Blue here. Missing out a center here. Oh, yeah, Riley Mills. I know he's probably coming back from that knee, but he's pretty decent. Begees is solid, too. Could we do a Holland Pierce situation here at 77? Oh, yeah, we're still going. I'm still going with Gadsden because we still haven't even taken a wide receiver yet. Yeah, I mean, if Tesla sits there, I was going to say, if he sits there that long, Thornton at 220, that's where I'd target him too. Keandre Lambert-Smith at 238, still a little bit better for me. Can't pass Baron Sorrell here, though. Jeez. That's a no-brainer. And we go to wide receiver. Kobe Hudson is good too, but I'm gonna go with the guy that the Patriots. And again, I just went through I'm sorry, I keep going to a full mock draft. That one's interesting though too. That's not bad. Now, there's potential for that number 38 to essentially be the unlocker, right? The one that's like the big move that actually is the value pick. It's like Donovan Jackson for the most part. Could be a first-round pick. Any of the edge guys that I picked prior, wide receivers, the point is there's probably going to be somebody who falls out of the first that'll still be there at 38, especially because I don't think any of these I didn't check. I wasn't really paying attention, but we're not even considering the fact that there could be 3, possibly 4 quarterbacks taken in the first round, and if there's 5 tackles, possibly 2 or 3 guards, you're looking at a wide receiver. I mean, what happens if like Amari and Hampton falls out of the first? Things are going to get interesting, and that's not even considering the fact that if like they get to the late 20s, early or around 30, and the Patriots are like, could we literally go up and grab Amari and Hampton here and steal it? Because they might have to. I mean, there's guys that if they really drop enough, you're like, all right, they're not going to make it. They're going to trade with somebody ahead of us in the beginning of the second on day 2. And you're sitting there in the back half of the first, and you say, you know, I don't want anybody to be able to regroup tonight and have a game plan for tomorrow of getting a deal to go get Amari and Hampton if he's really sitting there at 28 or something like that. Those are a few guys. Like, I mean, I'm not one to like. I'm not good with Genty at 4, but Amari and Hampton at like late 20s, yeah. Because to me, Amari Hampton's a top. I have him metrics top 10. I think he's 7 or 8 on my big board at this point. And I'm not that's not where I have him as like, that's on the metric side. That's the valuation side. So he's that good. It's just that when you have Ginty in front of you, it's kind of like last year with wide receivers and tackles and even quarterbacks. You just kind of forget how good Amari Hampton really is when you have a Ginty in front of you. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. What do you guys think at 38? I know there's the trade up I just discussed. Maybe there's even trade back, which I didn't even think about. Trade back a little bit if there are like 6 or 7 guys they're like comfortable with. If they can pick up a 3rd rounder or maybe another early day 3 pick, which could work out. Same exact thing could happen on day 3 that happened on day 2. I doubt Jacob Parrish makes it out, but that's an example right there. Like Jacob Parrish in this one dropped out, and I can't imagine him getting outside the top 70. But there might be somebody like this. So maybe it is worth a little bit of a trade back at 38 too. It's a very interesting pick. I think it's kind of the one where the mystery at 4. I don't think it's that much of a real mystery, honestly. It's the big mystery to me is 38. That should be the number that most people should be really focusing in on now, because I think the number 4 is really just an if-then statement, whereas 38 is an enigma. All right. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. If you guys like this content, please like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.